wanted to ask you about David Singleton's game tonight. He played 31 minutes, his second most in the season. He played 43 in the Pepperdine game, but just some of his shots and his played a little bit of the point guard with Jules Bernard out. Just his impact on tonight's game.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Dave did some good things. I think I told him he's got to trust his pull-up shot when they run him off the line, and he passed one up. Then he took the next one at the foul line. It just rolled off the rim for him. Thought that was a really good play by him. The ball just story of the night for us, man. We couldn't get the ball to go in. But Dave was solid. He had 5 defensive rebounds too, second on the team to Cody on defensive rebounds.
Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about 2 players. Riley had a double-double. He looked to be bodying up guys pretty well, drew a couple fouls early in the game. And Jaime Jaquez, not so many points, but he seemed to be doing the little things. What can you say about, how did they practice this week, and what can you say about their performance?
Well, I would agree. Jaime's 5 offensive rebounds were huge. We talked about they're going to play their matchup zone, and we can't just win if we make shots. We got to win if the ball won't go in. We talked a lot about that, and that's what happened to SC when they went to Oregon State. The ball didn't go in for them. You got to get set. Then the other night SC got offensive rebounds, except they had 19 of them. But we had 11. Jaime was big on the glass. I would say right now Cody is a product of his practice habits, guys. He's by far our best player in practice. His effort, he's just really learned how to play hard and work himself into condition. He puts a lot of extra time in with Wes Long on his conditioning, and expanding his 15-foot shot to where he's money on that. And it's funny, a lot of guys, I think they think they're going to score at game time, but they kind of go, they don't give it all in practice. So then they're going to try to flip the switch. And I thought that was a problem with our shooting today. We didn't have great practices other than Cody. But he's really a product of his practice habits, and that's why he's grown so much as a player.
Ben, you're up.
You guys are up 11. It looks like maybe you're going to pull away, and then it gets down to a 1 possession game there at the end. How close did this come to some more sleepless nights for you?
I don't sleep until the season's over anyway, Ben. But they banked in that one. When they banked in the 3, I see. When our best shooters are wide open and it's not going in, and then when that guy banked it in, that's when you start wondering, because all I do is watch games, and I've seen some crazy endings this week. It's starting to get to the silly season in college basketball. The season's getting long for the kids. COVID's making it longer, but it's just that time of year, man. So it's like I told the guys after the game, the next 3 weeks are a grind. They're a real grind until you get to late February. Then the guys they see the tournament coming, and, it's just a different feel. But right now it's a grind, and you just got to grind out wins, which we did today.
How will you handle this week with leading up to SC? They've got a game, you don't have a game. How will you kind of use this week to prepare?
Well, it'll be our last week without a game because, at the end of the year, I would say we'll be playing at least 1 makeup game. I still think, although the rest throws off our timing and our rhythm, which you saw today with our shooting, I think ultimately it helps you in the long run. I'm hoping, because our game's about March. You got to win games to put yourself in a good position in March. But, we got guys, especially Tiger, I think, the rest could help him. So, we'll probably take a couple of days off. Obviously, tomorrow will be off.
Hey, Coach, did you attack that matchup zone the way you wanted and the baskets just weren't going down, or?
Yes.
Did you? Yes.
Yes. I mean, If you told me we weren't getting wide open shots, and then Cody had a few 1-footers roll off the rim for him. So that happens. You just got offensive rebound.
Would you have liked to seen maybe a little bit more penetration and get into the lane? Because the only points in the paint, I think mainly were from Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we have certain, David did it late off his pull up. Jake hit a nice pull up. Dave's pull up rolled off the rim for him. But I think, when teams are going to make a decision to pack it in, we're not going to flinch. We're going to shoot the ball. Just didn't go in for us. I just want us to offensive rebound when we shoot it.
You said you didn't have good practices this week except for Cody? Well,
I did not. We had really good practice Tuesday.
okay.
We're really excited, and then the game got canceled. So when we came back Thursday, we were not. Our mental state was poor. We had one of our worst practices of the year Thursday. It just happens, guys. It's a long year on these kids from September 21st. No team in the country has done a better job of staying safe than our guys. It's just a long year, man. It's a grind, and you're going to have to. I always say, 15% of the time you're going to shoot the ball like we did today, which is terrible. 15% of the time you're going to shoot out of your mind, and then 70% of the time you're going to probably be who you are. Today we had great looks from guys can really shoot. The ball just didn't go in for us, and we found a way to win. But it's a grind right now, man, for everybody in college basketball. And it's probably a bigger grind than it's ever been because of what all these kids are dealing with. It may look normal to you guys, but I can promise you it's not.
Beth Harris, go ahead.
Hey, Mick. Jules came back very briefly there in the second half. Was it just his knee wasn't going to hold up there? Did you think it was better just to sit him for most of it? And what's his situation going to be like this week going into the SC?
I thought he blew his elbow out the way he went down, but they say he banged his knee on the ground. So I figured, he kept telling me, he's, fine. The guy's unbelievable. He's never subject since I've been here. So he kept convincing me he was fine. So we tried to use, he wasn't in a good offensive rhythm anyway. So I just figured to try to save him late, use him for defense. He was awesome, had a couple great defensive plays down the stretch. I'm sure he'll be pretty sore tomorrow because he landed without bracing himself at all. So I think, but if the guy's like made of rubber, man, he's unreal.
You expect a quick bounce back?
From him, yes. If I would have taken that fall, no.
All right, we got time for a couple more. Let's go to Tarek and then Ben.
Coach, sorry, I'm gonna go back to David Singleton's here. I don't know if you know this, but he's out here getting shots up. He's out here right here getting shots up. He's working on that mid-range jumper. I just felt like it'd be necessary to ask you, what you think of that spirit of him wanting to get out here. I thought his 3 threes were huge tonight, and just the spirit that he's coming out here and getting more shots up tonight, even after a win.
A lot of our guys do that, Tarek. You just don't see it. We got guys that are in the gym nonstop. We got good guys on this team. Dave's a great guy. But I will tell you, I'm just as happy with his 5 defensive rebounds and no turnovers. Because that's stuff you can control. That's effort related. And we needed that with Jules out. We needed Dave's defensive, what he gave us some defense and rebounding for sure.
All right, let's finish up with Ben.
Jalen Hill kind of continues to still struggle to get into a rhythm. What do you see there? What's it going to take to get him kind of going?
I think he's got to get himself going.
What does that require?
Rebound, defense, block shots, finish around the rim. Today he was in foul trouble, Ben. It's hard, it's hard to get him going when he's in foul trouble.
You had mentioned that maybe going to that 2 big lineup at some point, or you feel like you maybe getting closer to that?
Yeah, we worked on it a lot this week. with Chris out and Mac practicing full go now. So we've been working on that more and more. So, you know, that's still out there for us.